Hey everybody, welcome to Thursday Q&A. So it is 10:16 p.m. December 31st. I just realized that it's Thursday, so I'm off to a typical start of the new year, being a little bit late. But nonetheless, I am delivering this Thursday's Q&A on Thursday this week. So woo! Leave your questions and comments below in the comment section, and I will do my best to answer everybody's questions next Thursday. So let's get started here. Actually, you know what? I want to start this off with a question for you. What is your New Year's resolution? Mine is to write at least once a week on my website, and also to pay off all of my credit card debt. So let's get started with the questions. Christina Coloradoian, Coloradoian. That sounds funny. The more you say it, I guess everything kind of does anyway. Like banana, 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 banana. My question is kind of nosy, and I understand if you don't want to answer. How do you support yourself on the road? No, that's not too nosy for me. I'm a pretty open person. I have two videos on this that you might find really helpful. One is how to make money living on the road, and the other is how to save money living on the road. And I will link them in the description below, and they should also be popping up in the top right of the cards section that you can just click on, and it should open up in a new tab for you to watch next. Basically, right now, a very small part is ad revenue from YouTube. But most of it is stopping to work places and just being like as frugal as possible with my money. And another part is using credit cards, which I really want to eliminate like all the way. I want to pay those things off and just keep like an extremely small balance on all of them to get my credit rating like totally awesome. But yeah, basically right now it's just stopping to work for a couple weeks in miscellaneous places. Last time it was a haunted house in Salem, Massachusetts, which was freaking amazing. I worked there for 3 months and saved a bunch of money, but most of it's gone now, so I've got to find a new place to work. So I'm looking for a new place to go. I'm either going to head south, I decided against Orlando, or I'm going to head north so that I can get to New Orleans sooner, and also avoid the heat and the crowds of all the snowbirds here in Florida. So next question comes from Stephen Kludge. Please help me pronounce your names right. I hate mispronouncing people's names, man. Like I feel bad for it. But he says, good vid. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, sir. Happiest and unhappiest moments after you move into your van. Stay safe. First of all, thank you very much. Happiest and unhappiest moments. Wow, those are some good questions. Unhappiest would be when I left, because I knew it was the last time I'd ever see my dog, and I cried for like, I don't know, probably like 45. I don't think I've ever cried that much. I cried for like 45 minutes straight, man. It was pretty sad. But yeah, she's older, so I kind of figured it was the last time I'd ever see her. So I said my goodbyes and threw the ball for her one last time, kind of thing. So that was definitely the saddest, or unhappiest. Happiest? I don't know, man. I'm usually really happy, especially when I'm out on the road, when I'm out driving, like driving into some like beautiful place I've never seen before. And there's been so many times that's happened, and it's like most of the time. I think that I'm happy like 95% of the time now. The other 5% is like when the anxiety creeps in. But I'm still happy. Like I'm just uncomfortable. But like I'm happy and like carefree and relaxed and like yeah, like 95% of the time. So it's kind of hard to answer happiest. Ozzy Sedeno says, any advice on traveling with pets? You know what? Unfortunately, I have not had any experience with this, so I don't feel like I'm qualified to answer this question. I could feed you some BS, but I really don't want to do that. I'm just gonna be straight up. I don't know. There are some people in my viewer base that do travel with pets, and one in particular, and I can't remember his screen name, but he has two dogs. Oh, what is his name? God, I was talking to you when I was in St. Augustine too. But anyway, if any of my viewers have any suggestions for Ozzy here, please leave a comment and allow him to find you or find him. He commented. You can find his channel through my last Q&A last week. So please help him out if you're able and willing. Van Mr. 94 says, my questions are, what is your biggest pet peeve? And what's the weirdest thing that's happened on the road? The first one, biggest pet peeve, I try my best to eradicate those as much as possible because my happiness comes first. My peace comes first. But the thing that really bothers me is predatory people who take advantage of other people. That I have no tolerance for that at all. None. Zip. What's the weirdest thing that's happened to you since you've been on the road? Wow, that's a hard one to answer too. I've had a lot of weird experiences. Wow. Life is weird, man. Like, everything is weird. You think about, like, everything we do is weird. Like, we just think it's normal because we've seen it a million times, but everything is weird, man. Like, you ever feel that way? Like, just like, oh my God, everything is so absurd. It's so ridiculous that I'm wearing pants, or like I'm typing on this thing, or I'm talking into the machine and it's going through these satellites and cables into other machines, and like everything is weird, man. Probably probably the realization that I like people, because I thought for the longest time that I hated people, and I'm realizing that I really like people, and the people that I don't get along with are usually the people that are like hurt the most, so they need the most compassion. So they show me that, ew, I don't know what that is. They show me that I need to be more compassionate, so I like people. That made sense. Robert Phillips asks, thanks for the great answer to my questions. You're very welcome. Not what I was expecting, I know. Merry Christmas and whatever you'd like to do too. Thank you. My first question is, how many questions can I really ask? I don't know, man. Just ask away. What happened last week is I had this like whole like 3-page list of questions, and I was like, oh my God, this is huge. Like, this is going to take me like half an hour to answer all of these. And it only ended up taking me 10 minutes. So ask away, man. Like, ask as many as you want. And the next one is, which do you think is most dangerous? A zombie attack, alien invasion, animal upheaval, or Black Friday sales? Depends on where you are. If you're stuck out in the middle of a field, zombie attack, alien invasion, animal upheaval, it's kind of a tie. If you're in front of the Walmart or the Target or the Fred Meyer, probably Black Friday sales. Yeah, it really depends on where you are and what equipment you have. You know what I mean? Like, you could have all the weapons you want for a zombie apocalypse or animal upheaval, but those aren't going to help you with the aliens. You know what I mean? And like, even being underground probably wouldn't help you with the aliens, because they can probably find you, or at least underwater. Have you seen those videos of the UFOs coming out of the ocean? I don't know if there's any of that stuff's real or whatever, but just saying. So the next one is from Ricky Lewis. He says, have you ever met any other van dwellers? Do you think van dwelling will ever become a big thing? Yes, I have met other van dwellers, ones that don't have YouTube channels yet. I hope to meet some of the guys that are on YouTube too. As far as do I think it'll ever become a big thing? Big's kind of a subjective. I think it'll become more of a thing than it is now. I think we can already see that all the new van dwelling channels popping up on YouTube. I mean, it's been going on a long time. I mean, van dwelling, they used to call caravan, like the gypsy wagons were called vans. So van dwelling is actually like way older than automobiles, like what we think of vans. So it's been a big thing for a long time. It's probably less so than it used to be. But do I think in the future it'll be even more popular? Oh yeah, dude, definitely. With the economy, I mean, prices of everything are going up and wages are not. Like, yeah, there's a lot of people moving into the cars. I think that's part of why this channel's so popular. I think a lot of people are fed up with this rat race of working these shit jobs for no pay to have to pay all this money for rent, and then you're stuck in one place, but you're not actually stuck there. You're stuck at the work because you have to work all the time to afford the place just to sleep in and store all your stuff. Where this lifestyle, you don't have all that stuff because you don't need it. You don't have to work as much, and you have a smaller space and a little less convenience with like no running water or whatever. But I mean, some vans have that, but it's totally a worthwhile trade-off, and I think that really appeals to a lot of people, especially the traveling aspect. So yeah, I think van dwelling is definitely going to keep growing. Will it be what it used to be, where like a ton of people lived in caravans and traveled like in the beginning, like in the Wild West, or like off in like Europe or whatever, like during the gypsy days? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe in the future everybody will be mobile and nobody will be stuck in one place. I don't know. Muffin Stab says, what if you woke up and found out all of this that you were doing was just a dream? What if? I'd keep dreaming, man. I don't know. Yeah, I just keep dreaming. Because the dream that I'm stuck in right now is pretty badass, and I dig it. So, yeah. Woo! Nikki Myers asks, how did you learn to do this van build? And second question, can you give some example of what you eat on a typical day? So I'll do the first. It says, how did you learn to do this van build? I just did it. Trial and error. I just figured it out as I went. Basically, I had some basic tool skills. I worked on motorcycles a lot and built tree forts and stuff when I was a kid. But I learned all that stuff on my own too. I mean, my dad was a construction worker. He showed me a couple things and he had tools and stuff. Most of it was just trial and error, you know. Second question, can you give us some example of what you eat on a typical day? This question's hard to answer because I'm changing my diet right now significantly. Used to be, I'll answer this a month ago and what I'd like to be eating in a month. So a month ago, and I'm in the middle right now, a month ago I was eating like canned food and processed food and fast food. My diet sucked, and I was starting to, like, my health, like, I was tired all the time, and I just didn't have, like, my mind's kind of like foggy and just not clear, and it was kind of expensive, and I was like, oh man, I'm getting old, like, not old, but I'm almost 30, so it's like it's time to start really taking care of my body, you know, because it's kind of all like slowly going downhill from here, from what everybody's telling me. So in a month, I'd like to be eating all vegan for sure, and mostly raw, cooking my own food. And what's not raw is like all healthy, all organic, just healthy, good food from the earth that nourishes my body and makes me feel amazing and healthy and energetic and clear-minded and happy and beautiful and clear. So that's not very specific, is it? I think that's gonna have to do, because I don't know like specific meals. So I really hope that answers your question. The next one comes from Jay Agali. He says, how many miles did you have on your van when you bought it? How many did you put on so far? When I bought it, it had 220,000. Now it has 236,000. So a lot. And it runs better now than it did when I got it. Way better. Well, except for the first, like, the 20-minute test drive, it ran great. And then when I got it off the lot, like 10 minutes later, it ran like crap, dude. Like, terrible. So I've done a ton of work to it. I'm going to make a video and list all the things I've done to this van, and you'll understand, like, this, like, part of the reason I want to keep it is because I've put all this money and time into it, and I know it like the back of my hand. So Penguin Chicks ask, what did you do for Christmas? And Merry Christmas. Thank you, Carla, Penguin Chick. What did I do for Christmas? I just worked on the van. I worked on the van build, man. Just working on this and hanging out. That's pretty much it. Made a video, and that was about it. It was pretty cool. I had, did I have dinner? No, that was about it. Well, I had dinner, but I meant like with other people. Jacob Verberg asked, new sub here. Forgive me if I, thank you for the sub, by the way. Forgive me if I repeat any previously asked questions here. What is your age? And that would be 29. And his next question: have you ever journeyed to Western Australia, or I'm sorry, Western Canada at all, BC or Alberta specifically? I'm not sure. I've only been to Canada once, and it was when I was young, when I was like 13 or 14. And it was just north of Glacier National Park in Montana. And I only went into one town, and it was beautiful. And I remember the people were so nice. Oh my God, they had all these deer, man. They had all these deer in this little town, and you could pet them. They were just really chill. They like laying down on the sidewalk. You could just walk up and pet these deer. It was so awesome. Man, it was awesome. So I think so, yeah. Is that BC or Alberta? Because I'm not sure. So he says living in a car is not frowned upon as much as in the U.S. Plus, 80 to 90% of Canada is crown land, which you're allowed to stay on for up to 21 days at a time for free. Wow, that's incredible. That's like BLM land everywhere. I didn't know that. Man, I'd love to hit that up someday. Yeah, I need to start working on my passport, man. That sounds awesome. So that's all the questions we have for this week, guys. Thank you so much for playing along, and leave your questions below, and I will answer them next week. Love yourself. Woo!